Let me give you first a quick update on the latest of the post-Uri fallout. Amidst rising tensions with Pakistan over the Uri terror attack and the proxy war in Kashmir, India has now not ruled out scrapping the Indus Water Treaty if Pakistan continues to sponsor terror from its soil. The Water Resources Ministry held several rounds of meetings over reviewing the Indus Water Treaty, and sources say a decision is expected soon. The government believes that the treaty signed in 1960 ignored India's interests and the time has come to review it. The European Union has also taken up a strong stand against Pakistan and has said that on issues like Balochistan, it remains firmly with India. But let me turn to how exactly now this is playing out on the ground. The isolation of Pakistan now includes possibly its artists and cricketers. The Maharashtra Navnirman Sena today served a 48-hour deadline to Pakistani artists to leave Mumbai and the country. The Raj Thackeray-led party also promised to oppose the release of the films of Shah Rukh Khan and Karan Johar, two movies that feature Pakistani artists. The question I want to raise, should actors pay the price for terror?
Days after the Uri attack, it's Pakistani actors who are now on target. Raj Thackerays MNS has issued an open threat asking them to leave India immediately.
We will not allow any Pakistani artists to perform, to work, to shoot in Mumbai, Maharashtra. We have given them an ultimatum of 48 hours. They should leave India in another 48 hours, or else we will disturb their shooting, which is happening in Mumbai, Maharashtra.
The MNS diktat comes as a big blow to two of 2016's biggest Bollywood releases. It says it will not allow Karan Johar's Ae Dil Hai Mushkil and Shah Rukh Khan's Raees to release as Pakistani actors figure in them. Pakistani actor Fawad Khan, in teasers of Ae Dil Hai Mushkil, has already created a lot of buzz. And Pakistani actress Mahira Khan is making her Bollywood debut in SRK's Raees.
Whether it is television or the films, that we will not allow Pakistani artists to be working in this industry, and if they are, we would expect them to take them out from their projects, or else we'll have to stop shooting.
The Shiv Sena, which has in the past forced noted Pakistan government.
अब दुनिया से कहते हो ना कि पाकिस्तान को आइसोलेट करो, तो शुरुआत हमसे होनी चाहिए, हमने शुरुआत करनी चाहिए. अब सब कुछ चालू है और दुनिया को कहते हो कि पाकिस्तान के ऊपर बैन करो. आज आप कहिए पाकिस्तान का एक भी कलाकार यहाँ नहीं आएगा.
For a party that has hardly any electoral successes, the MNS's bullying tactics clearly is for the galleries. After all, Pakistani actors and singers who are invited to Bollywood are the easiest and softest target to pick on and scare. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let me first introduce my guests who are going to be joining me. They are people from the industry. Dilip Tahil, someone who's acted in several films, is joining me. I'm also joined by Ashutosh Rana. He is also an actor. I'm also joined by Anubhav Sinha, film director. But before that, I want to go to Shalini Thackeray, because Shalini Thackeray of the MNS spoke to me earlier, and it's her party which has the most to answer for. Shalini Thackeray, let me first come to you the direct question. Every few years, I find that the MNS, or every few months, the MNS comes out with this edict that we want Pakistani artists to be thrown out of the country. It's either you or the Shiv Sena. My sense is this is always a publicity stunt, particularly for you, because you get your 15 minutes of fame. Are you really serious about these issues, or are they designed only for fame and publicity, madam?
When we talk about a ban, which we had talked about it earlier, at that time I think we had managed to enforce the ban, and we had put a stop to the Pakistani artists. In fact, that time the artists coming from Pakistan had really decreased. After that, there was this movement between the two countries, and yes, echoing the sentiment of the people, we decided that we should take a back seat on this, and if there is a dialogue happening, it should be allowed to happen.
Madam, you know, it almost seems to me as if the MNS believes you are an extra constitutional authority. You can switch on and switch off. You are seeming to tell me you will decide when to allow Pakistani artists to come to India, when they should not. Why not leave it to the film industry? Why is the MNS getting into this again? Who has given you the right?
MNS is definitely going to decide what it wants to do, and MNS decides what it wants to do based on the public opinion. And I think in the middle there was a public opinion to allow certain talks to happen between the two countries. Today that opinion is not there, and today again we are echoing the sentiments of the people.
No, you seem to believe that you alone will decide what are the sentiments of the people, what is the public opinion. What harm, I'm going to ask you this, ma'am, what harm have the artists done? They are not terrorists. We should allow some relationship surely of normalcy with Pakistan. The actors are not going out there and taking AK-47s and getting into a combat zone. Why are you hurting their interests?
So you mean to say that all the Jawans that were murdered, massacred so brutally on the border in Uri had something they had done to Pakistan, that's why they were murdered? I think we are taking it a little on the illogical side. The artist ultimately, let's put that whole artists, celebrities, cricketers, if we put all that aside, I think we should understand that ultimately we are citizens of India and they are citizens of Pakistan. And if the citizens of India are not treated with the respect that they deserve in their country, we give them all the respect, we give them the fame, we give them the money, which goes back into the country and comes back to massacre our Jawans and our people in the guise of terrorist activities. I think we are opposing this whole circle.
No. My limited point, madam, is banning the artists going to be the solution? They are the soft targets. You'll get your publicity. You've come on prime time on my program. The real challenge is on the border. The real challenge is what do we do with the Pakistani army and rogue groups like the Jaish-e-Mohammed or the Lashkar-e-Toiba. Banning an artist of Fawad Khan or some actress is surely not the solution, madam.
So you mean to tell me that just because this has not happened before, we allow for certain dialogue, and today when we say that we are not going to allow it again, the terrorist is not going to stop? That is what we want to make Pakistan understand, and India, the state of Maharashtra, the people are saying the same thing. It is not stopping. So how long are we supposed to pamper these people who are coming from the same country into our country? Why should we pamper them?
I'm not saying that. I am saying what will your action against these artists do actually to stopping terror? That's my point. I come back to it. The problem I find is that the MNS constantly wants to look for an enemy. One day it is the people of North India, one day it is the Indian Muslim, today it is the Pakistani. The point is there are municipal elections in a few months in Mumbai. The Shiv Sena and you both are competing for the same space. That's the sense I get, that you want your 15 minutes of publicity, the question I raised originally.
We are talking about issues here. We are not talking about whether it will give us our 15 minutes of negative fame or positive fame. We are actually talking about an issue over here. And here for me, what matters to me is any of these artists who have come from across the border, especially from Pakistan, have they gone and convinced their government that the people from India, celebrities from India should be entertained in their country, should be given their respect in that country? If they cannot do so much for the country which gives them so much of fame and money, then why do we have to tolerate them over here?
Ma'am, and nobody is going to dispute your point of view. You have every right to have your point of view. My point is, what about those Indians who may want to see these Pakistani artists perform, who may be crazy about Fawad Khan? Are they not entitled to see them? That's my point. You can entertain your point of view, but to enforce this ban when there is a government, when there is police, when they are not committing any illegality, who is the MNS to decide on this? How can you decide for those who may want to see these artists, ma'am?
There were a lot of people in Pakistan. There were a lot of people in Pakistan who wanted to see Lata Mangeshkar in Pakistan. There were a lot of people in Pakistan who want to see Hindi movies in Pakistan. What is the government doing about it? Are they entertaining us? So how long are we? Again, I am reiterating the same fact. I am echoing the sentiments of the people that we are not going to tolerate this anymore.
No, you are not going to tolerate it. There is a law in India, madam. There is a police, there is a system who wants to come into India, who doesn't, is to be decided by the Ministry of External Affairs. If I tomorrow want to watch a Ghulam Ali show, and I believe Ghulam Ali is a great artist, don't I have every right to go and watch it?
Because if I have this country from which these artists come, which this country which is absolutely massacring and terrorizing my people, then I do not want to. I think every citizen who is patriotic and understands what is happening today in our country will not take the stand and will not entertain these people and will not voice the fact that he wants to go and watch a Fawad Khan.
I'm going to leave it there. That was Shalini Thackeray speaking to me of the MNS. I want to now widen it to those who are in the industry. Anubhav Sinha, film director, Ashutosh Rana, actor, Dilip Tahil, actor, have been listening to this. Let's come to you all one by one. Dilip Tahil, do you believe that the MNS or the Shiv Sena have a case when they say, please send back the Fawad Khans, please send back these artists who are coming in to act in Indian films or act on television because terror cannot go almost coexist with Pakistani talent coming to India?
Yes, I do believe they have a very strong point, Rajdeep, and that has to do with a case history of Pakistan constantly snubbing our artists and culturally putting us out in the cold, insulting our professionals and legends in our entertainment field. Also, the other fact, you cannot be denied, this is not about any personal artist or anything. The fact still remains that they're a hostile nation. They have created, they create loss of life on the borders. They raid our cities.
But it is Shah Rukh. Mr. Dilip Tahil, Shah Rukh Khan and Karan Johar decide. Shah Rukh Khan and Karan Johar decide to have them in their films. Are you saying that they are not allowed to have them in their films? Are you saying that there is a bar on them?
I'm not getting. Rajdeep, can you hear me, please? I'm not talking about the legalities of it. That is to do with the Home Office and the people who can control that. I am talking to you from an Indian citizen's point of view and from a moral stand. The fact of the matter remains that at every single step we allow them to come here. They enjoy our hospitality on taxpayers' money. They enjoy the lifestyle in India. I've got nothing against that. But what I say is that it is enough. I mean, the time has come now that we begin to understand that, call it collateral damage or whatever you have, but there's enough of sleeping with the enemy. I mean, I strongly think that there should be a very strong review on this situation of people coming and working here when we are not allowed to go to Pakistan.
Okay.
They're completely hostile against us in every single field. So I think that needs to be considered.
Okay, so enough is what you're saying. The entire policy needs to be reviewed. Anubhav Sinha, do you agree with that? That the policy needs to be reviewed, the time has come that Pakistani artists should not be allowed into India? Is this going to be a blow hot, blow cold? One day we will welcome Ghulam Ali, next day we will not. But according to Dilip Tahil, time has come to say enough is enough.
No, I partially agree with him. First of all, we must understand that Pakistan is not an individual, it's a country. And which comprises of so many people, and every country has a social demeanor and a political demeanor. The political demeanor has been highly questionable, but the social demeanor, the only thing which, according to me, I think we have a long history and long legacy of cultural collaboration. If Fawad Khan doesn't work here, fine, but can you erase Mehdi Hasan from our memories? Can you stop me from singing Mehdi Hasan songs? No, you can't. It's etched in my DNA. So I don't know how long can this last. Can I continue to sing Pakistani songs after this or not? I don't know. I think so much has happened over the past few weeks that everyone is reacting in a manner, and they have right to their opinion, like you said, and MNS has its right to its opinion. The point being, the most important thing that's not happening, that I am really disappointed with, is that whenever I see something going wrong, something that my government is not doing right, which I think is not right, as a responsible artist, I try and raise a voice. What I have not seen is from Pakistani artists, I'm talking about social demeanor now, where these people, Fawad Khans and Ghulam Ali Saabs and highly respected and loved artists, I think it's time at least they started talking to their governments and start saying, when we have such wonderful social relationships, why can't we relook at our political relationships?
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Right.
You're saying
And
that
I
the
think that
artists
is
should
something
use
that-
their soft power. You're saying the artists should use the soft power in a sense that they have as a result of their standing as artists to put pressure on the Pakistani state. That's a good point. But Ashutosh Rana, let's be clear.
That's right.
There are people in India who would like to see Fawad Khan. There are Pakistanis who want to see our actors, whether it's a Salman, a Shah Rukh, or any of the big stars, or Ranbir. Is it possible for actors to act, for cultural artists to collaborate, and irrespective of what is happening on the border? Is that not possible, or am I being a romantic? Am I caught in my romance of cinema or romance of cricket to say that cricket can go on, cinema can go on, irrespective border mein jo hona hai hone do?
राजदीप, इस विषय को थोड़ा सा और विस्तारित करूंगा
जी,
क्योंकि कोई भी कला, खेल, संस्कृति या विज्ञान ये किसी भी राष्ट्र, जात, वर्ग से परे होते हैं, ये सबके लिए होते हैं, ये वसुधैव कुटुंबकम के लिए होते हैं। तो कोई कलाकार पार्शियल हो सकता है लेकिन कला पार्शियल नहीं होती है, कोई खिलाड़ी पार्शियल हो सकता है लेकिन खेल पार्शियल नहीं होता है। और जितना किसी भी कला और संस्कृति के विकास के लिए ये सारे एक्सचेंज जो होते हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं आपसी सौहार्द को और उस हार्मनी के वातावरण को पैदा करने के लिए किए जाते हैं कि पाकिस्तान के कलाकार हिंदुस्तान में काम करें, हिंदुस्तान के कलाकार वहां पे काम करें। तो ये जो अपेक्षा है सिर्फ अभिनेताओं को बैन करने की, मेरा ये मानना है कि आप किसी भी किस्म से, क्योंकि आपने बहुत सारे खंजर अपनी पीठ पे खाए हैं, चाहे वो समझौता एक्सप्रेस हो, चाहे वो इस समय हमारे वर्तमान सरकार के द्वारा नवाज शरीफ के यहाँ जाना हो, या उनकी माँ के जन्मदिन में उपस्थित होना हो, या उनके लिए किसी भी किस्म के गिफ्ट को ले जाना हो। तो ये सारे के सारे तमाम खंजर हमारी पीठ पे कहीं ना कहीं लगते जा रहे हैं, और इसमें हमें बहुत बड़े स्तर पर यह सोचना होगा डिप्लोमेटिक तरीके से कि आप सिर्फ डिप्लोमेटिक रिलेशन रखिए और उनसे किसी भी किस्म का व्यवहार या व्यापार बिल्कुल बंद करिए। फिर वो चाहे कलाकार हो, फिर वो चाहे हमारे इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हो, फिर वो चाहे एंटरटेनमेंट के हो, या किसी भी किस्म के व्यक्ति हो। क्यों? क्योंकि हमने वो वातावरण, जिस वातावरण के कारण हमने दरवाजे खोले थे, वो दरवाजा कहीं ना कहीं हमारा असफल लगातार होता जा रहा है। तो पहले हम और आप डिप्लोमेटिक तरीके से बैठ के जी
सवाल ये है, दिलीप ताहिल, द क्वेश्चन इज, are we then saying that politics will decide who a director or producer wants in his film? If today a Karan Johar is investing in a Fawad Khan, he may be investing in talent. Are we saying that talent also has to be defined by geographical boundaries? Are we saying that talent is not, talent is also subject to geographical boundaries? Are we not saying that talent crosses boundaries?
Rajdeep, I agree with you completely. Talent crosses boundaries. Political belief cannot control the arts and everything, and I completely agree with you. In that point of view, this has got nothing to do with the individual. It is not that we are against any particular artist. In fact, we've enjoyed a lot of the singers from Pakistan. This has now become a collective opinion. It has become a situation where we say, what about the people who in the Bombay raids got killed? I mean, what involvement of what had they done wrong, and why were they part of the collateral damage? I'm giving it a broad aspect. I'm saying we should cool off with Pakistan and allowing them these facilities of the people to keep coming here.
Sir, cool off, but why can't we make a distinction, Mr. Thayil, between the Pakistani state and its people?
No, I'm not telling Karan Johar or anybody that they cannot hire people.
Between the Pakistani state and the people? Are we saying Pakistan should be treated in the way South Africa was treated during the apartheid years? Are we saying that? Is that what we are now going to say?
Yes, it has become unfortunate. It is a very unfortunate state of affairs that because of the political and the kind of attitude that the state of Pakistan has towards India, their citizens they'll have to suffer because of that. Their citizens, unfortunately, is what I said earlier on, have become collateral damage. I mean, like they have killed our citizens. So, I'm saying to you, the point has come to review the stand, to understand that this is not about actors or performers or anything like that. I'm not talking about from a creative point of view. I'm talking about it from a point of view that there has to be a responsibility of the Pakistan government and the Pakistan attitude. If they want their people to travel freely over the world, not just India, over the world, to be able to enjoy other countries, to be able to contribute in some manner. And that is what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about artists and people. You know, in particular, if you know what I mean.
No, my worry is, Anubhav Sinha, is that where will this go? Tomorrow the MNS, Ae Dil Hai Mushkil, is releasing next month. Karan Johar's big film with Fawad Khan, one of the actors in it. Tomorrow if the MNS tears down posters, if the MNS blocks the release of the film, the damage that the producer suffers, who's going to compensate for that? As artists, as directors, aren't you concerned about the fact that an external agency is deciding who should be picked in a film and who should not, and can even use violence to get their way? Does that not trouble you?
I don't think that's an issue that I need to address. That's a state issue. If anything that goes beyond the realm of the law of the land, there's nothing that I can do.
No, should a Karan Johar get protection? My point is, should a Karan Johar sir get protection? Should his film be protected? Yes, the MNS has its point of view. Dilip Tahir, should they get protection?
Things like these have happened before. Bans have been called, and happened with Karan himself. And I don't think it ever goes to a position where Karan would be physically harmed. No, I don't believe that. Right now, like I said, the situation is volatile. People are reacting in a very, very, very different manners, all kinds of manners. But one thing that I want to respond to Dilip to is that I understand the cooling off.
Yes.
But why do I always get a sense of the low-hanging fruits of cricketers and artists?
That's my point.
We do a $3 to $4 billion trade every year with Pakistan. Why aren't we having a debate on that? Are we the most low-hanging fruits that everybody can come and pick, and we just...
No, I think you make a good point. I do believe that actors and cricketers, sir, actors and cricketers at the end of the day are the low-hanging fruit, because they will be the ones who will attract the kind of publicity or the imagery which political parties want. Ashutosh Rana, मुझे आखिर में आपसे पूछना है, ये जो गुस्सा है, लोग कहते हैं लोग गुस्से में हैं, and people must respect the anger of the average Indian. क्या हम चीजें अब गुस्सा देखकर करेंगे, सेंटिमेंट देखकर करेंगे, या हमारा देश जो लोकतांत्रिक देश है, हम पाकिस्तान जैसा क्यों बनना चाहते हैं? If they don't want to treat our artists properly, if they don't behave properly with us, should we also go down to their level? क्या हम उनकी तरह बन जाए?
देखिए, उनकी तरह बनने की बिल्कुल भी बात नहीं है। एक चीज होती है राजदीप, एग्रेसिवनेस, और एक चीज होती है फॉर्मनेस। तो क्या होता है कि इन दोनों के बीच में बड़ा बारीक अंतर है कि आप अग्रेशन को कहीं ना कहीं फॉर्म से जोड़ रहे हैं। हम और आप जो बात कर रहे हैं वो फॉर्मनेस की बात कर रहे हैं कि बी फॉर्म और टेक योर स्टैंड, कि किसी भी किस्म की सौहार्दता यदि हमारे और आपके राष्ट्र के बीच में अगर हार्मनी बिगड़ने का काम कर रही है, तो हमें निश्चित रूप से आपसे किसी भी किस्म के व्यापारिक संबंध खत्म करने चाहिए। दूसरी चीज कि किसी भी फिल्म का रिलीज किसी भी राष्ट्रीय समस्या से बड़ा नहीं होता, कि फिल्म का रिलीज अगर फिल्म का नुकसान हो गया तो अगर उसके एवज में अगर हमारे राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा के ऊपर प्रश्न चिन्ह लग रहा है, तो निश्चित रूप से हमें राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा, राष्ट्र की अस्मिता को वरीयता देनी होगी। दूसरी चीज, जो हम टैलेंट की बात कर रहे हैं, तो बात यहां पर अगर मात्र टैलेंट की हो कि हम अक्रॉस बॉर्डर या हम थ्रू आउट होल वर्ल्ड हम जाते हैं, तो बात टैलेंट की नहीं होती है, कहीं ना कहीं इस बात की भी होती है कि उसके अंदर कॉमर्स जुड़ा है। कि अगर आशुतोष राणा मान लीजिए मध्य प्रदेश के हैं और एक दक्षिण भारत का कोई फिल्म मेकर फिल्म बनाता है, तो वो ये मान के चलता है कि मध्य प्रदेश में यदि दक्षिण भारत की फिल्म नहीं देखी जाती है तो उसका हमें मॉनिटरी लाभ कहीं ना कहीं मध्य प्रदेश में भी होगा। और दक्षिण भारत में आशुतोष राणा इसलिए जाएंगे कि मैं सिर्फ मध्य प्रदेश में देखा जाता हूं, दक्षिण भारत में नहीं देखा जाता हूं, तो मुझे भी कहीं ना कहीं आर्थिक
लाभ, तो आप कह रहे हैं ये कमर्शियल
होगा। तो बहुत सारी चीजें इसमें होती हैं, लेकिन मेरा ये मानना है जी नहीं, निश्चित रूप से कहीं ना कहीं संसार पूरा का पूरा जो है वो धन वाला हो गया है। और एक मेरा मानना यह ये और है कि मान लीजिए कि भले ही मुद्दा MNS ने उठाया हो, लेकिन ये राष्ट्रीय मुद्दा है, वैश्विक मुद्दा है कि यदि आपकी संधि सुरक्षा नहीं दिया करती है सुरक्षित जनता को, केवल तलवारें ही रक्षा करती हैं तलवारों से। अब इस बात को आप अग्रेशन में मान लें या इस बात को आप फर्मनेस में मान लें, लेकिन मेरा यह मानना है कि किसी भी किस्म की जो अनारकी चल रही है पाकिस्तान को, यदि अगर मान लीजिए मैं पाकिस्तान का अभिनेता हूं तो मुझे अपनी गवर्नमेंट से ये जाके उन्हें कन्विंस करना चाहिए कि भाई ये सोशल हार्मनी, सोशल पीस और हर किस्म की चीज कहीं ना कहीं, क्योंकि विकास के लिए शांति जरूरी होती है और विजय के लिए उत्तेजना। तो हम और आप शांति की बात कर रहे हैं क्योंकि भारतवर्ष विकास की दिशा में अपने कदम बढ़ाना चाहता है, और दूसरी तरफ से यदि उत्तेजना की बात आती है तो वो विजय की बात आती है। तो विजय की अगर जहां तक बात आएगी तो निश्चित रूप से कि क्या कहते हो, मेरे भारत से चीनी टकराएंगे, अरे चीनी को तो हम पानी में घोल घोल पी जाएंगे, और वह बर्बर था, वह अशुद्ध था, हमने उसको शुद्ध किया, हमने उसको बुद्ध दिया था, उसने हमको युद्ध दिया। आज बना पर कफन शीश पर जिसको आना है आ जाओ, चाऊ माऊ चीनी मीनी जिसमें दम हो टकराओ, और जिसके रण से बनता है रण का केसरिया बाना। ओ कश्मीर हड़पने वालों कान खोल सुनते जाना, भारत के केसर की कीमत तो केवल सर है और कोहिनूर की कीमत जूते 5 अजर अमर है। रण के खेतों में छाएगा जब अमर मृत्यु का सन्नाटा, लाशों की जब रोटी होगी और बरूदों का आटा, सनसन करते वीर चलेंगे जो बामी से फन वाला, और फिर चाहे पेकिंग वाला हो या रावलपिंडी वाला। वो वाली जो तेवर है तो वो तो भारतवर्ष की नस नस में वो तेवर है, और भारतवर्ष ने हमेशा से अपने बड़े भाई के कर्तव्य को, अपनी अहिंसा के कर्तव्य को बहुत शांति के साथ, चाहे आप
जी आपने अपनी बात रखी,
देख लें, चाहे वर्तमान नरेंद्र मोदी जी के समय
अपनी बात रखी है, आपने पूरी तरह से अपनी बात रखी है। मुझे लगता है जिस तरह से आपने अपनी बात रखी है उससे मैसेज सीधा चला गया है। you've given your message, but the sense I get even in the film industry today is that there are those at least
आक्रामक नहीं है, ये आक्रामक नहीं है,
आक्रामक नहीं है, मैं जानता हूं, लेकिन ये the mood is very clear even within the film industry. It appears that there is a reluctance to accept Pakistani artists at the moment, at a time when there is tension on the border. Let's leave it there, and I will give you my take. Thank you very much for joining me. Should the attempt at diplomatically isolating Pakistan extend to its artists as well? Well, I have a different opinion. In my opinion, it should not. The Pakistani state deserves tough retribution. The Pakistani people, and especially their artists, don't. Actors and singers help break boundaries and give some hope of normalcy. Those who call for their boycott are looking for soft options, and in the case of the MNS, a bit of publicity. However, two nagging questions. Would Pakistanis welcome Indian artists to their country in this environment? And why don't the Pakistani artists who make a living in India unequivocally condemn terror from Pakistan?